Hey, happy day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. I know. Let's talk about the expression opening a can of worms. Okay, I admit it, I flippin' love this expression because I've been known to use it a lot. And my whole life, I probably was a little bit of a pot stirrer or somebody that dug to the heart of things or opened up situations and topics that maybe other people didn't want to necessarily discuss or open up. Not wounds, not opening up wounds, but opening up topics and looking into situations and digging deeper and trying to find the root cause of things, sort of inherent in a quality professional. Digging into and finding out and improving processes. And I always dug into things because I wanted to make things better in my relationships, in my life, in my family, in the organizations I was a part of, in the businesses I work for, in my jobs in corporate America, and in my businesses that I own. And what I do, I've got this, I got to dig into and find out what the root cause is. And maybe it's partly because when I was younger, I had some health challenges and I needed to dig into and find out what was really going on so that I could fix that so that I could have a decent life, right? And that happens in our businesses a lot. If we want to grow and supersize and build our businesses, we have to be willing to open a can of worms and look at what's really going on. Now, sometimes this expression means to cause trouble or to set unpleasant events in motion. We don't want to do that in our businesses, right? But we do want to figure out and solve the symptoms of a problem. We want to attempt to solve our problems, but sometimes when we attempt to solve one problem, which really isn't the core root cause or the problem, it's the symptom of the problem. Think of your health, and I'm using this because it's really easy to imagine. If you've got a really bad headache or a migraine, there can be all kinds of things that cause a bad headache or a migraine. If you've got a problem in your business, say you're losing money or losing sales, that can be caused by all kinds of things. Maybe it's a customer service problem. Maybe it's a resources problem because you can't get the raw materials you need to deliver to the customers on time. Maybe it's a timeliness problem. Maybe it's a shipping problem. Maybe it's a quality of how the product's being assembled. There's so many things that can cause your sales to go down, right? Maybe your salesmen aren't out making sales calls. Could be a gazillion things, just like a migraine. Well, how do you go about solving a migraine? You can just take an Excedrin migraine or some other migraine product, or you can sleep, or you can take a nap. There's all kinds of ways to try to mask the symptom of the migraine and just solve the present loudest symptom, the headache. Or you might want to dig in and find out what's causing the migraine, what the root cause of that is, what the root cause of the reduced sales are in your organization. And if you don't, you can put a whole lot of Band-Aids on it. You can put a whole lot of things onto that. Think of taking a prescription for your migraine. There might be all kinds of side effects that result from taking that prescription that you never intended. There might be all kinds of side effects from solving the symptom of a problem that isn't the real problem that actually would cause your sales to go down even more. So this expression, actually, they're not sure where it comes from, but maybe that's why I like it too. But they suspect it came from about the 1950s. You know, it's pretty easy to imagine. If you've ever been a fisher person or gone fishing, you can probably relate to opening a can of live bait. Live bait tends to, especially worms, now they're in the nice styrofoam containers. You can put the lids right back on. But if you forget to put the lid on, they start to slither out and crawl out all over the seat of the boat, and it's kind of creepy. Ask me how I know. Of course I've experienced that because I used to fish with my kids when they were little, and sometimes they would forget to put the top back on the worms. And that would cause, of course, when you're dealing with live things squirming out of a bucket or out of a little container, that can just, number one, creep you out. Number two, it can cause a mess. It can cause challenges. But is it really bad? Not always. In the short term, it might feel bad, but in the long term, it's always better for us to get to the root cause and solve what's really going on and fix what's going on in our organizations, in our relationships. You know, people have relationship challenges, and opening a can of worms might be as simple as asking a question in a relationship and not necessarily liking the answer that you get and knowing that the answer that you get isn't really what you wanted to hear. But isn't it better to know and get it out in the open and solve that problem, solve that, whether it's a relationship, your business, your health, whatever, than to mask it and go on through your merry life thinking that you're having and living one situation and it's not what's going on at all. guess that's it. I'm not an instigator, although my brother-in-laws are total instigators. But opening a can of worms is kind of like being an instigator. It's kind of like being that that noise in the machine that there's something wrong, and then bringing that up. But by bringing it up, you are making sure that that noise in the machine doesn't create a failure, doesn't break down, doesn't cause bigger problems in the future. So I'd love to hear what you think about the expression opening a can of worms. If you have ever opened a can of worms, I have opened so many cans of worms, I could probably spend a whole day listing out all the cans of worms that I've opened. And was it really messy, and was it terrible, and was it emotional, and was it a pain in the derriere at the time? Absolutely. But did it lead to a continuously improving path? And did it put me in a situation, in a place, in the companies I was involved with, in a place that was better? Absolutely as well. So go out, supersize your business, open a can of worms if you need to, solve some problems, and if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, message me, and I will of course be with you tomorrow with another, what does this mean? Where did this idiom come from? Does it mean anything? Maybe there's nothing in your life or in your business that needs to be looked at. Maybe everything's perfect. Yay! Put that in the comments below, because I want to know, and I want you to help me with my businesses and with my life. Have a great day. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.